What's going on, everyone? So reports have came out that the Lakers, G League affiliate team, the South Bay Lakers, have added another Kobe to the umbrella that is the Lakers in Kobe Buffkin. I think that this is a great signing. This is very exciting. I've talked about him in the past as a guy to kind of keep an eye on when he was waived. Just a young prospect to bring in. Again, we'll touch on that here in a moment. But this is from Dave McMenamin and ESPN. The South Bay Lakers plan to acquire former Atlanta Hawks guard Kobe Buffkin, sources told ESPN. Buffkin was the 15th pick in the 2023 draft out of the University of Michigan. Buffkin was traded from Atlanta to Brooklyn and entered the G League pool after being waived last month. Again, Kobe Buffkin and the Los Angeles Lakers, the South Bay Lakers, they bring another guy under the Lakers umbrella that has a lot of upside, potential, youth, athleticism, right? Is in the mold and makeup of the type of players that the Lakers need for the main roster, right? Lakers have talked all of last season, or all of last offseason, as well as this offseason, about how they want to be that team. They want to be that organization, create the culture, have the farm system, right? Think of like the Dodgers. Mark Walters is the owner, right? Think of how good that pool is that they're able to kind of use and cycle and bring guys in. That's the idea. And especially with the new CBA, talked about this, right? Like, new CBA is going to require you to find cheap talent. Find guys that you can bring in that can be rotation players, that can be even just guys on a roster that in a pinch can play and stuff. Not everyone's going to be a star. Not everyone's going to be an all-star. Not everyone's going to be a superstar. Not everyone's even going to be a top-end guy or a starter, right? But it's about finding that pool of talent, getting those guys, creating that, again, organizational structure to where you can develop young guys. You don't have to be right on all of them. Right, you got guys like Adu Thero, Chris Menon, right, Kobe Buffkin. We have all these Drew Timmy, right? You're bringing in all these guys. Bronny James even is worth mentioning in that, right? Like these young players that you're bringing in. Nick Smith Jr. Right? How do I forget about him? He's somebody I was very high on and was glad that the Lakers landed. But now you have guys like Nick Smith Jr., 21 years old, Kobe Buffkin, 22 years old, Adu Thero, is he 21 years old? You got Bronny James who just turned 20. Like you got all these guys are 21, right? Like you got all these guys now, and you're starting to create that foundation of youthfulness. You only have to be right once or twice, right? Like if Kobe Buffkin and Adu Thero, out of all the guys, right? If those two guys just become something, I'm not even talking about stars or anything like that. Like, what if Kobe Buffkin just becomes a legit two-way wing? Right, a guy that can defend 1 through 3 for you, knock down the three ball with consistency, be a starting level, just guard forward for you on this team. And then Adu Thero, he become, that 6'7", 6'8", athletic, versatile guard that can slot in at the wing, slot in at either forward spot for you, maybe even slot in at the 2 on occasion, right? Like even if you just get 2 out of 10 guys, right, that become something, or 1 guy that becomes something, like that is huge. And again, just creating that cycle. Players are going to go out, whether it's through, they just priced themselves out, or they weren't very good, or, they just wanted to go elsewhere, or whatever. There's a million reasons why players end up leaving organizations or get traded or whatever. You make a trade and now you need to fill in a roster spot, whatever, right? You need to fill in the back end of the roster, whatever, right? If you can kind of create that system to where you're bringing in these young guys that you can grow and develop over, spend 2-3 years developing Kobe Buffkin. Now he's 24, 25. You have, a specific need at a spot because a guy aged out or whatever, and now he can come in and plug in and play. Same thing with the Dudero. Same thing with all of these guys, right? Like, just gives you another foundation piece that you can kind of grow and develop. Maybe it becomes something, maybe it becomes nothing. Who knows? But you're doing what you need to do. Lakers need athleticism. I mean, you're seeing it desperately with this team, how badly they need injection of youth and athleticism. Guys like Chris Menon, guys like Kobe Buffkin, like these guys, might be able to make an impact as soon as next season just because you need that. You need athleticism out there. You need guys that can push the pace and run and gun and dive for loose balls and, play defense and switch and, hit open shots and do all these things, right? Like, talk about it all the time. Yes, we need two-way players. Yes, we need 3-and-D wings. We need guys that are capable of playing both sides of the basketball. But if the Lakers just got 2 or 3 just athletic guys, I mean, it'd do wonders for just the athleticism alone. Imagine if the Lakers had like another Jared Vanderbilt. Like if a dude there can come in and just be like a wish version of Jared Vanderbilt, it'd do wonders for this Lakers team. But sticking with Kobe Buffkin, because that's what this video is about, he's a guy that I really like. Again, 22 years old, just turned 22, by the way, in September. Talk about a guy that's 6'4", 6'5". He has like a 6'8" wingspan. I think it's like 6'7" and like 0.75. So basically 6'8" wingspan. Right. So he's a guy that has the size, the length, the athleticism. He has a 38, almost 39-inch vertical. So he's a guy that, again, he can jump, run, defend multiple positions, play multiple positions. Again, this is a guy that was the 15th pick in the draft just, 2 seasons ago, right? So this is a guy that, has some level of NBA experience. You look at last year at a glance, we'll go over the numbers here more in depth here in a moment, but you look at last year in a glance, 2024-2025 season for Atlanta, he was 5.3 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 38.3% from the floor. Again, we'll talk about the context and all that stuff here in a moment. But this is just a guy that fits the mold and shape of the type of players you need and want to bring on this team. Now you have, like I said, a guy like a Chris Menon, Kobe Buffkin, Bronny James, Dude Thero, like these athletic young guys that, as soon as next season, you could have these guys on the roster just kind of giving you different looks, giving you different perspectives, being points of attack, even if they're not, your top 7 guys, 8 guys that you're going to run into the playoffs, just to have those guys that can help you over the course of an 82-game season, provide that athleticism over the course of an 82-game season. Look at, again, what the Thunder are doing. They're like, every year they have like 3 or 4 new guys that are just playing the role because it's a simple role, right? You're athletic. You move fast. You can defend. You go like this. Swarm. Do that. Obviously there's more to it. There's play schemes and defensive designs and stuff. But I'm saying it's just hey, just use your athleticism. Apply pressure. Get after it. You're a basketball player. You know what defense is. You know what, positioning is. And every year you just see the Thunder just find 2-3 guys that you've never heard of. That you're like, who is this guy? Did this guy even play college? What is this? Right? And then all of a sudden they're in here having major impacts, impacting the game. Because again, it's just, you can get away with a lot during the regular season. Why? Every year there's a couple, 2 or 3 just young athletic teams that are top of the standings in the East and the West. And you're just Sacramento, wow, they're the 2 seed this year. Or Memphis, wow, you're the 2 seed this year. Right? It's just because they're young, they're athletic, they're versatile. Right? They can just push the pace over an 82-game season. They usually are healthier and more spry. And if they do get hurt, they bounce right back. Right? Those are the kind of things that this Lakers team needs. That just injection of youth out there. And have guys like a Kobe Buffkin, like I mentioned, 6'4", 6'5", long wingspan, can defend 1 through 3 for you, can, jump out the gym, be a lobbed up, can shoot the basketball, do multiple things, a little, self-create stuff. Obviously, he's 22. He's a project, right? He's a guy that you want to develop. That's why I said you spend the next 2 years developing him. He's 24 years old, moves into the main roster. Or like I said, maybe even next year, you're bringing him and Chris Menon and all these guys, and they're just the back-end guys, right? They're, the 11th through 14th guy for you, right? And perfect. Again, not everyone has to be superstars. You make those steps. Get a guy so let's say Nick Smith Jr., Chris Menon, Kobe Buffkin, right? All 3 of those guys move to the main roster next season. You bring in some new 2-way guys, all of that, right? So you have these guys that move into the 2-way spot for you, or move into the main roster spot for you, bring in new guys on the 2-way spot. So now you kind of have these guys, and now they go through the next wave of just development. So now you have Bronny, Chris Menon, Kobe Buffkin, Nick Smith Jr., and Dude Thero as like I said, your 10th or 9th through 14th guy or whatever, right? And then, you have your top 7, 8 guys, and then you just have the youth and athleticism on the back end that are getting their development, that are getting their, what you want to see them get, so that way they can grow and develop and take that next step. And then, like I said, you only need 2 of those guys to be something, right? Bronny James and Kobe Buffkin become, your the 1 and 2, right? For you, right? Whatever, right? If, whatever, Adu Thero and Bronny James, or Chris Menon and Adu Thero, or whomever. You just need 2 out of those like 5, 6 guys to actually become something and be able to move in a rotation spot. And that was a success. And then you bring in the next wave, right? And you just keep that cycle. You just keep that process going through. But want to kind of go over some numbers here. As far as Kobe Buffkin goes, he's got 2 seasons under his belt in the NBA. Granted, small size. He's only played 27 games total. In those 27 games, he's averaged 12 minutes per game, 5.1 field goal attempts per game, shot 37.5%. 3-point range, he shot 22% on 2.2 attempts, which is not great by any stretch of the imagination. But again, he's a project. Need to work on it. He shot 49% from 2-point range on 3 attempts, 42.1% EFG. Free throw shooting, he's 65.4% on 1 attempt. Last season on 2 attempts was 72.2%. The reason it's 65% is because his rookie season on half an attempt only shot 50%. But 2 rebounds, 1.5 assists, half a steal, half a block, and 5 points per game. And again, this is in 12 minutes of action. He is averaging half a steal, half a block, right? You look at his per 36 numbers. Now, per 36 doesn't tell you everything. Again, kind of gives you an idea of like what he could potentially be. Between the 2 years on the team, he would be 15 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and a block per game, right? Like, if he could be anything close to that, right? If he could be half of that for this team in, a year or 2, that would be fantastic, right? If he could be, 8 points with if he's giving you damn near a steal, a half a steal and half a block in 12 minutes, actually say 15 minutes per game, he's giving you a steal and a block and, dishing out 2 assists, grabbing 3 rebounds and giving you 7 points a game. That's perfect. That's all you need for a 23-year-old. It's a home run for you. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass question you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. Lets me enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.